My name is Anthony. I'm a first year student at St. Catherine's College, Oxford, and I study Materials Sceince. I mean, for me, Materials Sceince, one thing which I particularly enjoy about it is the fact that it's a 4-year course which still leads to me graduating with a master's in engineering, so I can still become an accredited engineer. What makes it specifically better for me is the fact that it combines a good element of chemistry, physical chemistry specifically, as well as the physics side of mechanical properties. And personally, I feel like many people don't know too much about materials, so I just want to explain a bit more about it. Cool. So with regards to the first year, I would say, comparing it to the engineering science at Oxford, our maths contents are quite similar, so we could pretty much sit each other's exams and still do pretty well. So I find that that's quite nice to be able to not just ask the materials friends about the course if I was stuck, but equally I could go to the engineering students. I would say in addition to that, a big part of first year is the thermodynamics and the microstructure of materials. And for me, well, I particularly enjoyed this element because this was very much a continuation of the physical chemistry that we covered at A-level. So again, I'd probably say I slightly preferred chemistry a bit more to physics. So it was really cool to find that quite a lot of the first year was founded on the principles that we discovered in thermodynamics in year 12, year 13, but now we're taking on a higher level. Personally, again, in terms of mechanics, I would say one main difference between the engineering science course and the material science course is that there's probably a bit less mechanics that we do, which for some may be a bit of a downside, but for me I think that wasn't too bad because there was enough in there to make sure that I was still familiar with it, but it wasn't too much that perhaps the engineering students dealt with. Other things which I'd also say throughout the year was that I felt it was quite cool that we were learning things which immediately had real life applications. So for example, I know the engineering students, they will talk about, I think one part of their course is they talk about building a bridge and things like that. But I found it quite cool that we could understand the materials that they used to build the bridge and why they chose those materials and how those materials can be optimized to become even more efficient for use. So I quite like the fact that you can immediately put the knowledge you were gaining, even as early as first year, into real life application. And for me personally, who's perhaps looking into going into the nanotechnology route or something like that, I think it was cool to think that even as early as first year, I could now apply my knowledge into real life applications. Cool. In terms of workload, I think it's definitely manageable. I think whether you're studying a physics course, whether you're studying material science, whether you're studying engineering science, I think the key theme amongst everyone is that it is manageable. And however, the key word or key phrase which you'll hear a lot of is time management. So personally, I quite like to get involved in quite a few different things. So I'm involved in quite a few different societies, I'm involved in quite a few different committees, yet still I've had time to allocate time to my work as necessary. And it's something which your tutor will understand. If you let them know early on that you're looking to get involved in maybe whether it's sport, whether it's in music, whether it's in drama, they will understand that though you have this constraint on you, they will still expect you to get the work done, but they will understand that it's very manageable as well. I would recommend not getting involved in too many things, which I might have done, but it's cool. I definitely can look back in the year and say that I've enjoyed it. So preparing for PAT, and I'll start with the physics aptitude test.